Hey guys, how you doing? The Realslimshady again, and here I am today with a game I played yesterday. Today is March 25th, 2026. So this is a game I played last evening. It's on Semois against Zonda, who is a much better player than I am. He has close to 9,000 games, most of them ranked, and he ranks pretty high. For Panzer Elite for the US and British. And he's around my level 5 for Wehrmacht. But he just has more experience in the game and ranks better. And I just finished with work, so I thought, I'm gonna record this now. And as you can tell, and as I said, it's in Semois with the iconic Semois church. There's a saying in the Company of Heroes community that if this church isn't like destroyed by the end of the game, it wasn't a good game. So Semois games are ranked by the destruction of this very specific church. But very early on, really nothing is happening. We're just both capping, and he also built an observation post, which is gonna give him extra fuel very early on. But it's also going to delay his manpower, as you can tell, because this costs 200 manpower. So he obviously had to spend that on this. And I'm going early Jeep. At this point, early Jeep against Wehrmacht has become part of my meta. Like, I always go early Jeep against Wehrmacht. Purely to suppress engineers when they're capping. I don't even intend to kill these pioneers. I know that this might be too loud right now. I don't even intend to kill these engineers, these pioneers. I just really want them to get the hell away from that munitions point. That's honestly my only purpose, my only goal, and that's the only purpose of these Jeep, in my opinion. And while that is happening, obviously I'm gonna have a rifleman come out of there very soon, and the Jeep served its purpose. You know, he's retreating the Pioneer. He knows that he's going to die if he stays there. But he's coming at me, and I obviously don't know this with the Schwimmwagen, and my Jeep is already at, I want to say, 66% health. But these engineers are close, and they're going to have to fix him up. And now we have a bit of a worker battle here. I feel like this is still too loud. I'm just gonna take it down in the entire, system. Anyway, I think this counts as green cover. I think so. But I don't think he can destroy me quicker than my engineers can fix the Jeep. And obviously he realizes that, so he turns fire to my engineers. But by the time I retreat, I have more health than he does on his Schwimmwagen. And my riflemen are going to be capping this in the meantime. I don't think I'll be able to destroy it. Oh yeah, because he's coming in with a machine gun and a pair of pioneers. And my Jeep escapes once again because, he has to.
Squad is ready.
And these guys are going to try to go on a decapping mission here. And then this early stage of the game is just to fight for, who can grab more territory from whom. You're going to see that he's about to start doing the very same thing because his guys are going up here to decap this, probably this as well. I don't really remember, but I'm just assuming. Well, I'm doing this, obviously, because if I cap this, he doesn't get this munitions point here. And I'm decapping this as well. But I don't know why he committed to this assault, because I have two rifleman units here, and he has a Volksgrenadier unit and a Schwimmwagen, and 2 rifleman units are going to kill these units every single time. Especially now, as one of the rifleman units goes into the house. I don't think that the Schwimmwagen and these Volksgrenadier had any shot in the beginning. I know the engagement was kind of forced upon him because I just happened to be here, but still, when he came here and he saw that I had 2 rifleman units, he should have retreated. I don't think that he should have even tried to engage. And I sent the 3rd rifleman unit through this passage here to flank the machine gun, and obviously the machine gun will not have enough time to reset. And they just got BARs, so that is 1 dead machine gunner. Yeah, there you go. And since he was running away when he was killed, I mean the 2 of them were running away when they were killed, they're not going to drop the machine gun for my guys to pick up. So the rule is, in case you don't know, in Company of Heroes, when it comes to machine guns, minesweepers, and stuff like that, Panzerschrecks, basically any kind of additional weapon outside of your basic firearm, the rule is that if you die without retreating, you're going to drop that weapon and you're going to be able to pick it up later, or your enemy could pick it up. However, if you die while retreating, the weapon just disappears. It moves into the nether world, so to say, so nobody can pick it up. But he has another MG here, so that's not. I mean, it's a loss, especially for early game, but not too big of a loss. In the meantime, I'm retreating these guys because I know for a fact that they cannot survive the engagement with the machine gun. They're already on low health, so I don't want to mess with that.
Initiating defensive operations.
The sound you're hearing, by the way, is me drinking protein shake.
It's all right. Protein.
Anyway, these guys cap this. Now they're gonna mine it up because this bridge here gets a lot of foot traffic. And see that? That was also mine. They're mine, obviously. And I guess, it's better for the Jeep to get destroyed than losing a engineer unit or an infantry unit, rifleman unit. And I'm pretty much following the same logic here. I put a mine here. These guys are gonna put another mine here, and a mine here. So pretty much all directions are kind of covered. So if he tries stepping foot onto this island, he's gonna get blown up. And while that is happening, these guys, I built a triage center, so they were healed up. He's now capturing this. They're gonna capture that also. And, they're armed with bars, and that's pretty difficult to deal with in early game, because you see, these are vanilla Volksgrenadiers. They don't have MP44s, they don't have veterancy, they don't have anything. So one-on-one, vanilla Volksgrenadiers are going to always lose to vanilla riflemen. And I don't even then have to talk about how much more powerful BAR riflemen are in comparison to vanilla Volksgrenadiers. I think it's just pretty self-explanatory. And the same thing is going on here. And something that I kind of want to point out is that if you find yourself in this situation, if you get jumped while capping by the enemy, if their unit is considerably, not considerably more powerful, but if it is more powerful than your unit, you have to retreat immediately. Because while your unit is capping, they're not going to focus on returning fire. So maybe just 1 or 2 guys is going to return fire while the others are capping. And if the units are of equal level of power, so to say, or if you're about to get back up any second, then you can just stop capping and move to a defensive position and return fire. However, if you find yourself in a situation like this, where you're, for example, capping with a squad of false grenadiers, and you realize that a rifleman unit with BARs is approaching and opening fire on you, there's no chance in hell you're getting out of there alive. So what you have to do in that situation is just retreat ASAP, like as soon as possible. Just press that T button on your keyboard or press the little retreat button there. It's usually there where the cursor is right at this moment. And retreat, because you're not going to make it out. Because just those few seconds that you spend capping instead of firing can make a huge difference in this game. And that's pretty much what's happening here. If I were him, I would take this MG42 and I would put it here or in the church somewhere. Just, it's not doing any good there. And if you want these false grenadiers to stay in the fight, personally, I would have retreated them already. But if you want them to stay in the fight, you need backup right now. And as you can tell, he's not getting backup right now. And my plan here, in case you were wondering, was to kill these false grenadiers or get them to retreat, and then use these riflemen to come here in green cover and kill this machine gun. This is why I didn't retreat these guys. I put them in the house, because I wanted the machine gun to stay here and keep pressure on them. I basically use them as bait, and I'm going to use these guys for a flank. And before I show you that, the reason you might be wondering why am I floating so much manpower? I have a 600 manpower, is because I want to build a supply yard, and immediately after that I want to build a motor pool and get a fast M8. And I'm going to need a lot of manpower for that, and I had early winnings in the early game, so there was no need for me to get more than... I have now 3 units, 3 rifleman units on the ground. There's no need for me to get any more. So now that he stopped shooting with a machine gun, that gives these guys the time to get out safely and circle him. They're going to go from one side, and as you can see, he focuses fire on these guys here. But I'm just going to retreat them. Obviously, I'm not going to let them die. And that makes this an entirely winning engagement for me, because he had to retreat everything. Basically, his entire force, including this machine gun, is now back in the base. And while he's back in base, I'm going to be capping everything. And also, these guys are going to go out for the hunt for this guy, because I knew during the game that he was somewhere around here. While all of that is happening, these guys are going to build this OP on the fuel. These guys are going to get healed up and reinforced. And when these guys finish building the OP on the fuel, they're going to go back to the base and they're going to build the supply yard and the motor pool. And once again, the silence is here because I'm drinking the protein shake. And yeah, the mines go everywhere. Mines win games. And I know that reasonably the only 2 directions he can come from to cap this. He seems, I don't know why he insists on capping this, but he keeps doing it. The only 2 directions are from here or here. I mean, obviously I could have put another mine here or here just in case, but I don't want to spend too much munitions on mines, and reasonably these are the 2 mines that are likeliest to achieve an effect. He's repairing his Schwimmwagen. That's smart, because it was pretty low in health. And he has a Grenadier squad out. What are these guys doing? I have no idea what these guys are doing. He's protecting an area. Why not put them in the church? I mean, you're so close to the church, just put them inside. They're going to activate the mine, I think. Oh yeah, there you go. Didn't kill them, but took away a decent amount of health and suppressed them. These guys need to get the hell out. He's gonna die, isn't he? Oh, yeah, definitely. But the Schwimmwagen and the Pioneers are also dead thanks to off-map artillery. I lost one rifleman squad just because I was micromanaging these guys to come here and put pressure on the grenadiers. While these guys are capping this. So right now it's pretty much it's dominance from my side, but it's not total. And as I said, these guys are now building the supply yard, and we're gonna get an M8 on the field soon. That was a good grenade throw, but I was confident that my guys would, they had enough health to stay in the church, so I wasn't that worried about it. And the same thing happened to him here. I think he was micromanaging this machine gun and these grenadiers, and he wasn't watching what was happening here, so he lost the Volksgrenadier squad for the same reason I lost the rifle squad just a minute ago. This grenadier squad is gonna get away, I think. Oh no, they're gonna die. Okay. Oh, no, they're getting away.
By the enemy. Artillery now available.
And as you can see, I have a mortar pool, and it should start producing the first M8 right about now. These guys somehow avoided all three mines. No, this is his mine, but this is my mine. So these guys, I think they came from this direction. So they managed to avoid my mine. They placed a mine of their own, and then they managed to avoid the second mine. And I don't think they're going to activate this one throughout the entire game. And they don't have a minesweeper, so it's just pure luck. Very interesting. Anyway, I'm decapping this because if I decap this, he has no connection to this territory here whatsoever. That's my goal right now. And these engineers are coming in to recap this because I really, really need this territory because of this plus 16 munitions point. And he's gonna step on the mine. Oh yeah, there we go. Is he gonna activate the second one? Oh yeah, there we go. So that was. I wouldn't say that was a good exchange of resources. Those two mines combined cost 50 munitions, and they killed a single pioneer squad. I think there could have been more effective if they had killed, I don't know, at least two Volksgrenadiers and the Pioneer Squad. But at least he's not gonna be. At least he lost a full Pioneer Squad. That limits his mobility on the field to cap this. I lost a few guys here. Oh no, I lost another Rifleman Squad. I don't even know how it happened because while that was happening, I was yapping about these mines. But anyway, here's the first M8. At least my VAT2 squad survived, which is super important. This armor car is getting both upgrades. The 50 cal is up. And I know that he doesn't have any anti-infantry, anti-tank right now, anti-armor. I just know. I'm not going to say I knew it for a fact, but I assumed because of his lack of resources that he would not have an anti-tank gun on the field. And I think I'm right that he's not going to have it, and he's not going to get it. And there's the second M8. He's not going to get it or have it at all for the entire game. And the reason I wanted a fast M8 was just to kill these machine gunners. But his response to that is an Ostwind, and words cannot express how much I hate Ostwinds. In my opinion, they're so overpowered. I love using them when I play Wehrmacht, rarely, but the reason I love using them is pretty much the same reason I hate them. They're so overpowered against infantry, especially if there are two of them. I like to take two of them and just ride them around. They can rip apart a Vet 3 infantry squad in like seconds. It's not even fair. Obviously, I had to go anti-tank, and these guys are going to build a howitzer right now. And he has to respond to that threat with his Ostwind. And that's something that I realized, that he only had one Ostwind on the field, and that his Ostwind is the only answer he has to the to the M8. So if I just kept the two M8s apart, each on one side, he could never. I could always like kind of manipulate that Ostwind threat, because he can never completely attack. You know, he can be everywhere at once. And he just now built the anti-tank gun, and I just lost that M8 because of poor manipulation. But look at the. I'm just gonna shut up and let you guys look at what I'm doing here, because the howitzer fire is about to come in, and at the same time, look at the micromanagement of this M8 as it happens. Notice how little health he has. It has. And I managed to get the hell out of there safely. I mean, I'm pretty bad at micromanaging vehicles usually, and I think for me this was a huge success. Like, words cannot express how happy I was when that guy got out. I know that he didn't do too much, and that it's not like that deserving of praise, but just the fact that it got out, man, I was so happy. But anyway, I got my AT out, so if he's gonna attack with his Ostwind, you know, I have an answer to that. This is off-map artillery, by the way. And the AT is dead. Yep, because it was right there. The AT was right there, and it died. So he sends his grenadiers on a capping mission. The grenadiers should be, in my opinion, used mostly for anti-infantry combat. You should have sent these guys on a capping mission here, because there's nothing here, you know. I mean, not that he knew that during the game, but still. The AT, for some reason, hits the ground in front of him. I put this mine here on purpose to protect the AT, because I knew that he's going to try to kill it, and he has to go through here. The same, and I also think of using this mine here for the same purpose. Obviously, my M8 is getting prepared while all of this is happening. And I'm getting stickies to help deal with this threat, and I'm also getting two rifle squads, because I lost rifle squads way too early in the game. But anyway, the Ostwind doesn't have too thick of an armor plate, so it can get destroyed. As you can see, 3 hits and it's done. Fortunately for him, he managed to get away just in time, but if he had stayed there, he would be dead right now for sure. And I obviously noticed that these Knight's Cross holders are coming at me, and I know that he has to cross this mine, so I move backwards, and on purpose, I'm going to move back here to lure him into this mined area as well. And these grenadiers tried capping that, but they didn't manage to do it. And I'm doing this on purpose. I did this on purpose because I know that there's another mine. The thing about the Knight's Cross holders is that they have, first of all, their durability and health is insane, but the second thing about their health is the fact that they have passive healing. So they don't have to go back to base to heal or press a button. They are just, by default, they're healing all the time. And that's a pretty messed up thing to fight against. Because just look at the health bar. As it's going down, it just starts going up again at some point. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to fight against them for that reason. You need like 2 or 3 infantry units to kill a single Knight's Cross holder unit. And as you can tell, they killed one of my infantry units, and they're about to... They just want to kill that AT gun. which I understand, but he just sacrificed a Knight's Crossholder unit for an AT gun that is easily recruitable, so I don't know about that. But anyway, I now have stickies, he's about to find out. And the engine is destroyed, and he's about to have artillery dropped on him. And there's another Ostwind. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do when I play Red Market, which is pretty rare, but still, when I do it, I like to get double Ostwinds. And this M8 is very close to getting veterancy, and the Ostwind gun can penetrate front armor of the M8, but not all the time. I would actually argue that the M8 has better high explosive rounds than the Ostwind. And it destroys the Ostwind, and automatically, since it's such a large opponent for the M8, it gets double veterancy. And I have my first M10 on the field. I built a tank depot in the meantime. I have my first M10 on the field, and obviously I need to fix this M8. And these guys are going to recruit the anti-tank gun. And I'm dropping off-map RT here. Oh yeah, it's getting dropped here. And obviously the Ostwind doesn't have a chance against the M10, like, he can't, I don't think, I think the Ostwind can penetrate the M10's back armor, but I don't think it can penetrate its front or side armor. So, and obviously just a few shots from the M10 are enough to kill the Ostwind no matter where they land, so that's pretty much GG between the two of them. And he dropped. What could have been done differently? Well, first of all, if you take a look at the victory point situation, he didn't care about the victory points early on, and I had these 2 points capped throughout the entire game. Throughout the most of it, I also had this point. So he's been in a steady decline when it comes to victory points throughout the game. This is something that needed to change. The second thing is that there was a lack of, I want to say, cohesion between infantry units when attacking and counter-attacking. There were a few times when the MG would, for example, be pointed at an area. It would be right here behind this fence. There used to be a fence here before it was destroyed. He would, for example, put the MG42 right behind this fence, and it would protect this area here, and there would be nothing going on here. My troops would be like here or at the other end of the spectrum here. And the MG would, and I would just be asking myself, like, what the hell is that MG doing there? Like, it's completely pointless to hold it there. There's nothing going on there. And while the MG was there, the infantry units that were trying to push forward were under fire from my riflemen, and the MG was nowhere to be found. Also, he didn't at all use the cover of buildings. Like, he could have put the MG here, and use all of these buildings. He never did. Which is pretty weird, because it's usually the intention of most players to use buildings for cover on purpose, and it seemed the opposite. It seemed like he was on purpose avoiding the use of buildings for MG cover. I'm just gonna say what I think in a random order, not necessarily the order of importance. The Ostwind is not an anti-armor armor. So he pushed the Ostwind out to help him with the M8 armored car. That's not what you want to do. The Ostwind is here to kill engine pioneers. It's here to kill even rangers. It can even kill an AT gun if it can get around it quick enough, and of course it's here primarily to kill riflemen. What it is not here to kill are M8s or tanks. It can kill an M10, but it would take like 10 shots to the back of the M10. It can kill an M8. It actually did kill one, but the only reason he destroyed it was because I was too slow to get it the hell out of there. Still, it can destroy it quickly, right? It needs at least 6 or 7 shots. And in order to, if you want to combat the M8, he could have gotten out the Puma with the upgun, for example. That could have been the solution for that, or get a Panzer IV or even a Sh2. But I don't just see using the Austrian Flakpanzer as an anti-M8 solution. Also, oh, now that I think about it, this MG has spent a lot of time in this square here. Like, he's been way too careful around his movements throughout the game, which is why I don't know if you remember, but at some point in the game, I had literally all of this territory here and this box here. So his territory was basically this, his base, and this. And that's pretty bad. That means that you're not being mobile enough. And I know that it's difficult to fight on one front and then send 2 or 3 different units in 2 directions to cap stuff. I know that it's really, really difficult to keep an eye on everything. But if you just focus on one single thing, you may even win that engagement, but you're still going to be losing territory because the other player is, while you're just focused on that battle, he's also focused on the battle, plus he's doing other stuff. And that's kind of the challenge of Company of Heroes. You have to be everywhere at once, which is impossible, and that results in death and, in this case, defeat. But generally, that's what you need to do. So I don't know what else to say. There were a few times that he retreated very slowly. He didn't retreat on time, mostly with smaller infantry units such as Pioneers or Volksgrenadiers. I would also say that you need to improve that because if you're in an engagement, when you think about a Company of Heroes, engagements don't last for a very long time. They usually last for like 10, 20, 30 seconds. And if you're in an engagement for 10 seconds, you should be able to figure out whether you have a chance of winning or not. And if the answer is no, you have to immediately retreat because you're just losing manpower for no reason, right? And there were times where I would wipe a squad or get them close to death when it was very apparent to me, from my perspective, that I was going to win the engagement, and that got me thinking, like, why the hell isn't he retreating? Like, it's so very obvious that he should retreat. It's like he's not doing it on purpose. But it's just slow reaction time, and that needs to improve if you want to get better at the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a good game, I think. I think my biggest mistake was the fact that I lost 2 rifleman squads because I don't know if you remember, but I had 2 additional squads in the beginning of the game. Only this squad survived with 18 kills, which is pretty impressive. Um, I have no idea what these guys killed to gain veterancy from 2 infantry kills. Oh, they killed the Knights Cross holders. But yeah, those were my biggest mistakes. The fact that I lost 2 infantry squads. If I hadn't lost those squads, this game would have been over 10 minutes ago. Also, by the way, it goes to show just how important, just how powerful Knights Cross holders are when regular vanilla riflemen get veterancy 1 from killing just 2 of them. So they don't even have to kill 3 of them. If they just kill 2 Knights Cross holders, 2 individual Knight Cross holders, they get veterancy 1. That for me is just insane. It just goes to show just the Knights Cross holders are like, imagine American Vet 3 riflemen but on steroids. That is for me what Knights Cross holders are like. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I have another one that I'm preparing, but I'm not sure if I'm going to record it now or if I'm going to do it, or if I'm going to edit this video now and do it later. But anyway, there's going to be another video against PE pretty soon. So yeah, catch that. Anyway, that's it. See you guys later.